and that third eye is right behind me. Oh, it's my good luck side. Sometimes I don't necessarily put the camera in the right spot. Today, I did. Oh, yeah, okay, I have to unplug that. Oh, I had to unplug that. Oh, that's not supposed to be on. There we go. Okay, get that out of the way. That light off. That was great. Okay. Oh, that's so much better. It's never that bright. It's fucking bright. Okay. Okay. It's going to allow the chat just a couple minutes to fill in. As soon as I turn this on, I got a trigger word said to me instantly, and like, I don't know what the actual word is. Like, I can hear, these lights are too bright for me. My eyes are super sensitive right now. I can hear fucking Harry Potter saying it. It's like it's a spell or something. And it's like, I heard it as soon as I turned on the live, which, like, I never know what the hell is going to come through these lives when I turn on, because I never know who's going to watch them. So it's like different energy all the time, right? And like, it's a spell. And you know, in Harry Potter, it's kind of like, I don't really know, like, it's obviously not real, okay? But like, I don't know how correct it is with like the Latin and stuff that they do use, but for the most part, a spell is not just a word. You know, it's not just one word. So it almost seems like, and then today I got this weird premonition because I saw somebody in my dreams last night, and I'm like, I haven't seen her in 20 years. And she stole something of mine. And my sister had a premonition about it like 7 years ago about the dream that I had last night. And somebody she got busted. And again, I said to myself, I was like, I feel like she did, like, she was my childhood friend. And I feel like she did a spell on me, or she did one on my family. She did a fucking, like, I don't know when it was that she got suddenly into voodoo. I think it would have been like, because me and her are the same age. So I think it would have been like around maybe 20 or 21. I guess she started getting into some shit. She was dating this drug dealer, and she just always thought she was so hot, you know, such hot shit that nobody could fuck with. And it was really, you know, she was really like a really weak person. She just used anger. That was it. She was a lot like me. Like, she only really used anger. She didn't have like a whole lot of like strength. But I remember back in the day, all of a sudden thinking, damn, you changed. Like, something happened to you. Like, you started like fucking, you went and watched Harry Potter, or you went and watched The Craft, and you started fucking around. You did something. Because like, I can tell. It's like, all of a sudden she just wasn't the person that I knew anymore. And that's usually when someone's doing witchcraft. So I don't know why this is coming up now. What up, everybody? In the chitty chat. Hope everyone's having a fantastic day today. Okay. Cleansing, homecoming, chalice. So somebody has to clean their home. That's really what I'm getting from this. I mean, energy can follow you everywhere. It can follow you from the store. It can follow you from your childhood. There's the Wiccan red on the bottom. And like, the one thing about the Wiccan red is like, we have a job. Okay. We have a right to protect ourselves. our house where we live, our hearth, our home, we have like a like we have the, like, I feel like it's just the right to protect it, you know? Like if somebody comes to burn it down, I mean, you have every right to stop that person in their tracks however way possible. You have a right to defend what's yours. Now I'm getting that from Enough, you know, that movie with J-Lo, and she's like, right before she goes to kick his ass, at the end, she's like, say that thing to me again. And Juliet, is it Juliet? I don't forget her name, whatever. She's like, you have a divine right to protect yourself and your offspring, because you have that right. Like nobody is allowed to take that away from you. Right. And even if you, you know, hurt somebody, I mean, if it's do or die, if it's either you versus them, and there's somebody else, there's like a third person involved, and that third person is of some type of vulnerable, can't defend themselves, you have every right to defend that thing. Okay. So I feel like somebody's fulfillment is coming in, and they have to like clear their home, okay, and get more connected with themselves, because there is something around you. There's the kitchen witch in reverse, like witch's hat power. There is and could be somebody that is trying to correct something in their own life, and by correcting something in their life, it's it's affecting you in some way. Okay. You know, people feel like you did them wrong, you owe them, you have to pay them back, stuff like that. People believe in like really odd things sometimes. So I feel like this person, it's kind of like they have to learn their lesson from this, whatever it is, but it doesn't really have anything to do with you. You're just kind of the innocent bystander that for some reason is getting hurt by this. So the universe is kind of, I think, giving you this opportunity to say like, okay, as long as you clear your temple, like clear your body, clear your vessel, clear your house, sweep that negative energy out, open up your windows, right? If you get this out, I do think that something is, you know, possibly kind of infiltrating you. And like, it could be slow and subtle at first. And then suddenly, you know, in a couple weeks, you chop all your hair off. Like it can be something like that. Somebody could be jealous of you in some way, and they want to send like, okay, there was this one chick that I worked with, which is so ironic, that I was just sitting here at my desk for like a couple hours, and I was tattooing and I was listening to music. And then I got up because I was going to do this live. I got up, went into the kitchen, and then I thought, damn, I don't know what that sound is, but like, I'm like, it sounds like my phone ringing. I'm like, but nobody calls my phone. So like, what the fuck? It can't be my phone ringing. I come back in the room. Sure enough, I did miss a call. And it was this work this place I did some work for, and she has something for me, and like it's totally unnecessary and I don't need it. She's like, hi, it's blah blah blah, can you just give me a call back? And I actually know I don't have to call her back. And I thought, how ironic is that? Like I was sitting there for like, I've been sitting here for 2 hours, like I was tattooing for so long my hand hurt, and I get up, the first time I get up to go warm my coffee, you know, change the energy and get something to drink and come back, my phone rings, which means I was destined not to answer it, right? That place that I worked, it's awful energy. I hate their energy. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to speak to them. It's nothing that she called me was even a concern of mine. I do not need to call her back. I do not need to make her feel better about whatever the fuck it is she was calling. I just don't. Okay. I'm like, okay, whatever, lady. I don't need to do this. Clearly, so bad so that I walked away from the phone right as it rang, and I couldn't hear it because I shut the door because some guy keeps smoking in the lobby downstairs, and it comes up into my apartment sometimes. So I've got my door shut. It's like sometimes, you know, like what if I picked up the phone and she was an awful person? Like she called herself the devil a few times, this manager I worked for. And she said she was a super fat kid. All she ever did was fucking shove her face with food. She had roaring red hair, like, and she claimed a few times that she was the devil. And I kind of believed her because there was a couple times where I was like, I don't think you're human. Like, I think you're a fucking nightmare is what I think you are. But I think sometimes people who are like the worst people at heart will fool the most people around them because they look so nice, right? But if you play on that nice for a little while, trust me, that person's going to get pissed off at you, right? Like niceness usually is a facade. You can usually kind of wear somebody out of their niceness if it's not really who they are. Okay, you can turn them into a prick really quick and they'll never come back from it, right? Because they didn't really want to be nice to you, or they're not really want to be nice to anybody, or like maybe it just has something to do with you. I don't know what this is about, but I got her right away and like that dream, and I was like, okay, man, like someone's doing something. Someone's doing a kitchen spell, or they're doing, they're trying to siphon something from you, or they're trying to mix something from you, and it's they think that what they're doing is okay because of something that happened in the past between the two of you, but they're, as of right now, taking the law into their own hands. So no, it's not karmically designed to come back to them. No, it's not anything that they need to do because they're forcing energy to come around from them. When if you realize somebody steals from you or somebody takes something from you, they owe you that. Whether it comes back around, right? If you push it and you grab it before it's ready to come back to you, then it's almost like you're telling the universe, I don't really trust you. And it was really weird. I had this shawl that this lady that I know really liked, and she got so jealous that I had it because it was this one of a kind kind of shawl, and you can't get them anywhere else. And she infiltrated my head so bad that I actually cut a piece off of it because I didn't think I liked it, and then I ruined the whole thing. And so I lived without that shawl for like 2 years. Get this. I come back home, I go to a secondhand store because I usually go, and I find the exact same shawl. I don't know if you know, but in Canada, we have this clothing company called Free People. And it's just a bunch of people that sew handmade garments in Toronto. And actually, they're everywhere. There was Free People in Calgary where I lived. I don't know if it started in Toronto. I don't know, but there was a store in Toronto anyways. And so like what they make is very unique, right? And it's all handmade. So it's every piece is kind of custom, right? And I found the shawl again at a secondhand store here, and actually my correct size. The one I had before was more my sister's size, which was, it's a little like about a size or two smaller than me. But when it's a shawl, it doesn't really matter. You don't need it to fit perfectly. But let me tell you, this new one kind of fits perfectly, and it's the exact same one that was taken from me, right? When somebody wants to take something from you, that's really sad because it has to come back to you, and it will. I never thought I was going to see that shawl again. And like, I mean, honestly, I don't go shopping very often. I'm kind of that, like, I haven't gone to a secondhand store for months, okay? I don't go into them. I hate them. I only shop when I absolutely have to. And like, I love to be able to go to the secondhand, but when I have to go to like the mall and get the real stuff, I hate it. But I'm just saying, when when something gets taken away from you and you're meant to have it again, right? It will come back to you. Whatever this is, it's going to come back to you because somebody did something to take something. And I almost feel like something maybe in your home, right? And that's why they're like, Spirit's kind of telling you to, clear your house or something, clear the energy, clear yourself, right? Anything that's been taken from you, you can call back. You can call back your energy. You can call back items. You can call back people. If you feel like somebody was taken from you or something was taken from you, then by all means call it back because it's yours. It divinely, is owned by you, if that's the way that energy works, right? Which means when you start calling it back to you, it's going to come stronger than the person trying to keep it there, right? Because the way that you kind of can see energy being stolen, or when things are being stolen, it's like it's being kidnapped. Okay, how many people do you know that are kidnapped that want to be there, right? Unless they get that weird fucking Beauty and the Beast syndrome where they fall in love with their captor, okay, which every captor probably thinks is going to happen, okay, then no, as soon as that door opens, they're going to run back home because that person doesn't own them, right? This energy that this person took, they don't own it, right? Whatever this witch is doing, and that's what really sucks, is because when people know that they've got They can harvest energy and they can do things and they have power, and they start to take advantage of it and they start to hurt people because they feel like they were hurt in the past, therefore they can now hurt people, right? When it's like, no, I mean, now that you've become a witch, if anything, right? Stockholm syndrome, that's what it's called. Thank you, JJ. I fucking knew it was a weird something syndrome like that, okay? Like, honestly, people need to realize that, like, when and if somebody takes something from you or manifests something away from you or lures something away and out of your life, it will find its way back if it's supposed to, and if it really wants to. And there's nothing that they can do about it, right? They can keep, locking the locks as much as possible. They can keep trying to keep it, all to themselves, but that's just forcing more energy against the flow of water. Basically, the way that energy flows, you have to keep that shit going. You constantly have to keep energy flowing. You can't siphon it up. You can't stop it, right? And maybe this witch feels like she can. Maybe she feels like she can take something from you. Maybe she feels like she deserves to own the law and she deserves to take this from you and ruin this moment for you, right? But I mean, the way that I see it is, if somebody wants to do magic against you, if somebody wants to try to take something from you because they don't trust that the universe is going to deliver it back to them or that it's going to find them again, so they go ahead and they do something. I mean, I'm just saying, patience, I think they say patience is a virtue for a reason, because in order to really truly have patience, you have to trust. Right? You have to have trust. You have to have faith. And like, faith is a fucking fickle bitch, because faith is one of those things, like, you can have faith for years and it does absolutely nothing for you. You can have faith for 5 seconds and it can change your life. So, I mean, you tell me what the fucking real problem is. And Spirit will probably tell you, no, that is not the right problem. Anyways, moving on. Who is in the chat, everybody? Keep it real, homies. Keep it real. This is all for people in the chat, okay? You send your energy to me telepathically, and I will pick that shit up. We have strength with fate. But fate in reverse. It's like, I feel like, again, that fate. Remember, I just said the word fate? Literally just showed up. That's Spirit for you. There's the Hermit. Okay, so fate in the middle. You can't take judgment. High Priestess in reverse with the Fool. Okay. Then the Moon. Okay, so. All right. This next message, I feel like somebody is going to get, I think, kind of pushed to the breaking point. Okay. And, almost where something could get dangerous. Like, so I'm using the Labyrinth cards. I only use the Major Arcana and the Labyrinth cards because the rest of the deck is atrocious. Okay. So I only use the majors. But with this Moon, okay, the way that I am seeing this right now is I'm kind of seeing like someone's going to get pushed to the edge. Somebody who doesn't know how to read energy. Somebody who doesn't know something is going to get pushed. And in the movie, when she eats the, I don't know if it's a pesh that she's eating, or I think it's a peach. I don't know. It could be an apple. I don't know. I think it looks like a peach anyways. Okay. When she goes to bite that peach and then she falls and she passes out, right? Because it's poisoned. I feel like that's going to be the breaking point, right? Where you could get hurt. Somebody could get hurt, and like more than just mentally. It's like almost like kind of like a physically. Okay. So we have this fate in between with the Hermit and the Fool. So I feel like the Hermit is hiding, wanting this Fool to kind of cross their path. So then when they become starving, which at one point they probably will, they can provide this peach that's poisoned at the perfect time. Okay. And it's somebody's judgment to reveal how far somebody will go. Okay. And that was kind of like almost a little bit of what happened in my dream, because when my sister had this premonition about, so what happened was 7 years ago, she had a premonition, and this lady came to her in her dreams and said that she owned this sweater, and that the sweater was to be given as a gift to somebody, and that was it. Sealed the deal, whatever, walked away. In my dreams last night, somebody took, my sister and I share a car. It's technically her car, but I help pay for it. So in the dream, somebody stalled our car or made us run out of gas. Something like that happened. So then I couldn't find the girl in the sweater. So get this, my sister never told me about this premonition that she had. So I leave my sister in the dream and I continue walking on foot, because I know as I see my neighbor coming out of his apartment walking on foot. So I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm walking. And you know how sometimes in your dreams you're walking and it becomes like a slow motion. And you can see where you have to get to, and you don't understand what's pulling you back or what's holding you back, because it's the dream state is very weird. It describes a lot of what's actually happening in 5D and in 4D and in 3D and all that. It all combines together. So as I was walking, I finally got to this complex. And it was like a shithole. There was no grass. It was all just dust and garbage. And I walk all the way to the end, and there is my childhood friend standing on her balcony, staring at me, wearing my sweater. My Wu-Tang sweater, actually. Y'all might have seen me wear that Wu-Tang sweater. It says Wu-Tang and then dollar bill, y'all, on the side. Anyways, she was wearing it. And I went, fuck you. I looked at her and I was like, fuck you. I knew you took my sweater. I knew you did this. I knew it. Blah, blah, blah. I left. I turned around and I left the dream. I made it back with my sister. And I was like, what happened to the car? And she goes, oh, I got it to start. It was all fine. So she drove the car just back home, and I met her back home. When she woke up this morning, something kept saying, don't talk to her about that. Don't talk to her about your dreams. Cause like I can hear a lot of voices around me. Okay. So I was like, that's weird, because usually my sister and I in the morning will talk about our dreams if something really bad happened or something. And so finally she's like getting out of the shower and stuff. I'm like, no, I got out of the shower. And I was like, I'm like, I have to tell you something. I'm like, I saw Jen last night. And she's like, no. And I go, she was wearing my sweater. And I was like, and I called her a fucking asshole and a fucking thief and a fucking liar and all this shit. She's like, no way. I had a premonition. And then she just went off about this premonition that she saw about a lady take a sweater. And really, it was my sweater. She stole my sweater in real life. That's what she did. And anyways, whole story wrapping up, okay? We had to put both of our dreams over 7 years together to figure out who stole from us, who took something at this time in our lives where we needed it more than anybody else. We needed it so bad that we would have taken a bite and it would have killed us, right? See how I'm getting to the analogy? There's always a reason why I say the story. So that's how spirit works, with me anyways, okay? So basically, long story short, I was face to face with these women in my real life that were supposed to help me at a certain time. And instead of helping me, they stole from me. They saw something they wanted. They saw something that they needed. They saw something I had, and they took it, even though they knew I was going to be fucked without it. Because in the spiritual world, right, there was this one time in the spiritual world where I met up with my father. And I don't know if you guys know about my father, but he's a fucking real piece of work. I met up with my father at my old cottage, and I was in a 10-foot aluminum boat, okay, with a motor that wouldn't start. And he showed up in the dream, and he was like, what the hell? Like, that's the motor that you have? Like, that's the boat you have? And I go, well, what do you expect? Like, this is what you gave us. Because I guess in that world, everything, you can only get things that you're given, and you have to make do with it in that world because there are no shops. Like, in that dream realm, I never see stores. There aren't stores. I'm not shopping. Everything is like specifically for a reason. If there is a store, I'm not shopping. I'm watching everybody else spend all their money while I'm like a little recorder. It's really weird. If you start listening to your dreams or paying attention to your dreams, trust me, it goes really more fucked up than that. Okay. So anyways, whatever it is that happens in your dreams, you sometimes get put face to face with people that are supposed to help you out of something and instead basically bury you. What up, Amy? Okay. So because you were a fool, somebody starting a journey, somebody about to go somewhere, okay, somebody who knew a little bit more than you, okay, adjusted your fate. So then you couldn't go somewhere, you had to go somewhere else. So when my father saw us in that boat, okay, he did something, and this new engine appeared on the aluminum boat, on the end of the aluminum boat. It was like this like huge, like weird, like rocket motor or something. And I go, great. Like, we have to drive around a fucking 10-foot aluminum with that kind of motor on the back. Like, what the fuck? And then he just left. But I mean, so I guess the analogy of the dream was we're going to be able to get somewhere faster, but we're still in a 10-foot aluminum boat. Like, what? And he just leaves? And then honestly, I have seen my home in that realm, and my home was made of skids and tarps. And when my parents came by my house, they scoffed at me, and I said, well, I did the best with what I could find, because they didn't give me anything for my house at all. I had to do everything myself. And in reality, my parents don't help me at all. So like, my dreams have literally shown me how much my parents have taken the vulnerable positions that I'm in and just goes, fuck you, and they'll just walk away. Like people love my parents. They think my parents are the greatest fucking gift on the fucking world's ever asked for. They think they're the sweetest people, they're the nicest people. How do you treat your kids like that and be claimed so nice, right? But they only see one side of them. They only see the friend side. Like, my parents are alcoholics. They're always wanting to drink and go party and have fun and go on vacation, and yeah, we're gonna party at the beach. Like, they're fucking 20 years old. They're like 67 years old. Like, they should be fucking, like getting ready to go to bingo and, like possibly maybe, having a second job because they're so bored. But no, they're all fucking drinking and God knows where, using fucking money that they should be holding out for their retirement, but they can't because they want to party too much. Like, really? Honestly, parents are fucking pieces of shit, okay? The second you turn 19, they don't want to be your parent anymore. Oh, you're 20 and you can take care of yourself now. Somebody else can take care of you. Yeah, no, bitch, you're a parent. You take that shit to the grave. And then if you die before your kid, awesome. Now you got to come back as some type of spiritual something because you can't leave your kid here. It doesn't matter if they're 45. Anything and everything can kill you. It's the reason why you have parents. If we were still back in the day, I mean, doing it right, which I don't think on this land we've ever done anything right, but we were all chilling with each other. We were helping each other. We didn't leave each other because we were 20 years old. We wanted to go fuck people. We still stayed in the hut with our family, right? But now it's like, get out of my house. You're 18. I want you to move out. I want my own time. I literally watched this fucking chick kick her stroller away from her and tell her boyfriend she didn't want to be a mother anymore, and she walked out of the store throwing a temper tantrum because she wanted to buy some G-string and couldn't afford milk. She suddenly didn't want to be a parent anymore. And the baby in the cart was a newborn. Good luck, dad, with that. Because if you put a kid here and you think you get to have everything just given to you after that, no. Mommy still gets everything first. You're going to get checked. And a checkmate indeed. You know what I mean? Like, oof. Honestly, spirit doesn't fuck around. They start talking about parents. Because like parents, like honestly, my sister, we were driving and there's this school right down the street. Obviously, the school is fucking all around me, but there's a school down here. I was driving and she was looking at these apartment buildings. I don't know why. I mean, wherever your eye wanders. And she said, this lady, she saw a lady pressed up against the window with her phone in her hand. And right across the street was like a bunch of 3-year-olds. They had their little, like, because it's not a school. It's like, I think it's a daycare. It's beside a church anyways. You know, those thumpers will kill any fucking kid, right? And Courtney was like, what the fuck? I think that lady's taking pictures of all those kids. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's the ones straight across. It's the ones that got that fucking bird's eye view that take those kids. They're watching everything. Like, you think your kid is safe for 1 second in this world? You are fucking wrong, okay? Then I was watching, like, I used to walk home from school when I was like 7 years old. Like, all the time, 6, 7 years old. Like, nobody ever fucking walked me home. Are you kidding? Now, people are like, oh, you can't have your kid walk home unless they're like 10 or 11 years old, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding? Like, anybody could have taken anybody. Like, it's just crazy. If you don't want to be a parent, don't fucking have a child. But that's these little entitled bitches that get pregnant. And then they're like, oh, everyone's going to love my belly and everyone's going to care about me and blah, blah, blah. I swear to God, my cousin had a second kid. Okay. She wasn't even like 22 years old. Decides to have a second kid because she wants more attention. She liked how much attention she got from her first pregnancy. She like just graduated college. She just started working a 19-hour fucking job. And she had a kid right away. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Her sister, kid at 16 years old. Like, you think you have a great parent if you're a fucking parent at 16, you don't have good parents. You don't. I can tell you that right now. They can say that they're all great and everything, but they're not. They just stole their child's childhood away from them. And that kid as well. And now they're going to become mommy and daddy because they know their kid is not going to take care of that baby. Honestly, I wish people would act more like the lady in Walmart and just fucking throw a temper tantrum in front of everybody, cameras and all, because she can't get a G-string because her newborn needs formula. Because bitch isn't going to be breastfeeding, that's for sure. Women who don't want kids certainly don't breastfeed. It hurts. My nipples. Go get formula. Do you even know what they put in formula? They found metal in formula. Metal. What is metal doing in formula? People are crazy. They just put anything in their kid's mouth, but yeah, they won't eat preservatives. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. Sometimes spirit just has to like tell people how it is. This is all spirit. You might think that like I'm just talking. Oh, Whitney's just talking, running her mouth. This is all shit that spirit wants somebody to hear. All right. Let's not get it twisted. I'm not on here to make friends. I'm on here to tell fucking mysteries. I'm here to fucking get shit solved. I'm here to tell the parents, you think you're a good parent? I can guarantee you I can rip you a new asshole like in 5 minutes into a conversation about you saying that you're a good parent. And it's not about judging. It's not about judging at all. It's about facts. It's about facts. I don't have to judge bad parents because guess what? Somebody else already is. So I just feel bad for the kid. I don't even want to judge a parent anymore. I just feel bad for the child. Like, just get the child away from the crazy ass fucking parent. Let the parent fucking deal with that shit. Oh, man. I ran into this lady today. She was this awesome lady that I would serve all the time. She would come in for a beer before she went and got her son. And one of her friends killed herself one day. So she came in and she was a little bit more blue than usual. And I'm like, hey girl, like what's going on? And she's like, and then she kind of, my friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, okay, we don't have to talk about it. Like if you're going to get upset. And she's like, no, like I need to talk about it. And her friend, mother of 2, fucking killed herself. Right? Left her kids just to be raised by God knows who, right? There's poor Shelly fucking bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, I was thinking about it today. This happened about a year ago. And like, I'm not judging anybody or I'm not saying that everyone's an awful parent, but I was like, when you're that selfish and you kill yourself and you just claim, like, who's going to take care of those kids? Like, I think about that right now with my snakes. Okay, like I'm like, what if anything happens to me? Like what happens to them? Like who's gonna take care of them? Like will my landlord even give a shit to make sure my snakes get somewhere if something happens to me? Like and my sister, like what the fuck? So if I'm feeling this way about my snakes, okay, I can only understand. I can only imagine how people feel about their kids. Like who's gonna raise my kids? Like man, the godparents, like right away, like who's gonna be the godparent? Like anything happens to me, like as responsible people want that shit taken care of, like right away, like fucking before the baby's even born. Like something happens to me, we need to get this shit settled now because like I'm not leaving Johnny without anybody for one fucking second. Where other people are just like, yeah, I'm just gonna off myself today and I'm just gonna leave my kids to whoever the fuck cares about them and I don't really care. And I went like, man, that lady for doing that, you think you can just kill yourself and go to a better place? I can guarantee you she is not in a better place. And now she's burning watching her kids struggle without her, which was the only person in the whole world that even cared about them. Just walked away. Oh, because she had a bad breakup. Like, give me a fucking break. These women let these fucking men into their heads so bad they jump off a bridge and they leave their kids. Oh, I just couldn't believe. I couldn't, like, I won't even be a mother to a child because like I don't even I would never want that responsibility. Like, I mean, I don't think people know the responsibility that comes with kids. I really don't think. I think they all read like the Parenting for Dummies, like in their sleep one night, and they were like, "Oh, I can do this. Oh, I got this. I'm gonna be the best parent in the world. I'm gonna be their best friend. I'm gonna play with them all the time. What? And then like baby comes out, and like daddy goes bye-bye, and like mommy starts fucking the neighbor, because dad's not home, and like the kid doesn't have anybody at home anymore, and then what's even worse is when the parents do break up, okay, and now the kid starts acting out because now the relationship, they were only together because the two of them wanted to have sex that had absolutely nothing to do with the kid. So now nobody's paying attention to the kid because now the parents hate each other. And like, let's not mention if one of them starts banging somebody else, now mommy wants to get a gun and kill daddy's little whore. Like, I mean, it just gets worse and worse and worse. Like, we're just slowly diving into a pit of abyss, It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And now they're like, oh, no one's having kids anymore. Well, you wonder why. I mean, for one, I'm pretty sure there's sterilization in the water. Okay, so guys, y'all are just fucked from day one, okay? And like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Like, I don't think kids even want to be here anymore. Like, would you want to be incarnated on this shithole? Like, I certainly fucking wouldn't. Oh. And like that lady, why would you just leave your kids like that? Like, and this was over a year ago, so I didn't even have my snakes. So I didn't even understand like real parenting, right? And like my snakes aren't even real parenting, but it's something I have to take care of. I have to make sure they're okay. If they don't, they die. What's the difference of a child? I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, right? You have to take care of something, but then there's that whole other like generation that just thinks they're allowed to abuse anything they want because, they don't like anybody today or they got abused themselves and now they can just fuck over anybody that they want. Like, oh God, give me a fucking break. Oh. You know why Stockholm Syndrome exists and it's in Beauty? AKA Belle. When she fucking pieces out, it's because her father leaves her all the time. So she's already used to being basically abandoned because her dad always has to peace out and go. So when she actually gets a captor, no wonder she's going to fall in love with him. Her dad leaves all the time. So she's going to want to stay with the captor that, thinks that he cares enough to keep her there. Like, I mean, these syndromes, they come from somewhere, and it's usually all from your childhood. Shit doesn't usually change you as an adult. It has to be something big. Like you got to go to war or see somebody killed for it to change you as an adult, To be changed as an adult doesn't usually happen. You always got that tweak from childhood, People who had perfect childhoods and never had anything wrong with them will usually probably just stay, Mr. Rogers for the rest of their life. People who have been tainted or all of a sudden get tainted, oof. We step into a whole new world after that shit. You know what I'm saying? All right, next message. Oof. I am getting the psychic sweats. Oak tree, power, courage, strength. Oak tree, the old chestnut under the old oak tree. This oak tree comes out quite a bit. Why the oak tree? I once had a psychic tell me that I was an oak tree and that no matter how hard people bend me, they can't break me. I don't know if you've ever had somebody say that to you. No matter what people do to you, you can't break, or you don't break easy, or blah, blah, blah. The universe could possibly be validating that right now. Honestly, I'm so fucking hot. All of a sudden, I just... Whew. Oh, the psychic sweats just take over. Whew. You old girl. Oh, good God. Man, honestly, this must feel like menopause. Because like suddenly my body is just like, I feel like I'm going to pass out. I'm going to throw up. And my body feels like 150 degrees. Like I just want to take my clothes off right now. That's why I really, like, I can't channel and do this in the summer without air conditioning. Because I fucking die. I have to, like, I die. Jesus Christ. I don't have my fan anymore because it's winter. Okay. Ooh, we have the cauldron. Bibbity bop. Brewing something. With the oak tree, brewing power. Ooh, hereditary power. Ooh, with the roots. You could be activating like very dormant old energy inside of you right now. Where it's like suddenly you can just do things. That's not a coincidence, okay? Peace, grounding, support, encouragement. Okay, so I feel like somebody in the collective here watching, somebody is going to go on a new journey, okay? Like right now I'm tattooing. It's a great journey because honestly, I've been painting and drawing for so long that it's such a change, right? It's a challenge. And I like challenges because I just don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. I want to get challenged by it. Right. And man, my sister, she loves what I tattoo. She knows I'm getting better. So she really helps encourage me to keep going and keep doing it. Right. So I feel like whatever this is that you're going to be doing soon, what is that ruin? I think that's the journey ruin. Yeah, journey ruin. Okay, so I do think that you're going, like, I mean, and honestly, a journey doesn't necessarily mean that you're traveling anywhere or you're physically going somewhere. You're just going to do something new, okay? And it's something that is in your roots. It's something that you've done in previous lifetimes, okay? And you're going to have a lot of help grounding it. I mean, when your ancestors speak to you and they want you to do something because they know how good you are at it, they'll keep like hitting that honk, you know, like they'll keep going like, hey, by the way. And like, honestly, my ancestors wanted me tattooing a really long time ago and I just never did it because I never thought I was good enough for it. And now that I do it and now that I'm starting to do it and I'm starting to practice it and I'm getting a lot better, it's kind of one of those things that I think like, you know, the only reason why I bought the gun was because the tattoo artist that I've had for majority of my life just walked off the planet and won't talk to me. I don't know why. I don't know if something bad happened to him. I don't know if he's dead. I don't know why he won't talk to me. I have no idea. He just doesn't respond to anything I say. And so I'm like, okay, well, I mean, I'm kind of loyal like that. And it sucks sometimes because I I know how he tattoos, so I just like that. I don't want to go somewhere new, so I bought a gun. And I said, fuck it. Like I'll learn myself and I'll tattoo on myself what I want and I'll take charge of this because I'm not going to keep giving this direction to somebody else who's shutting me down. It's almost like the world kept going like, well, you can do it. So why keep asking everybody else to do it? Because that's the thing, is like maybe this is something that you keep asking other people to do. Right. And now I'm getting, so I for the last couple of years, I've really gotten into like hip hop beats, and I don't really know why. Every time a beat comes on, it doesn't matter what beat it is or how it goes, or I'm always moving. I instantly start moving. It's just music. Music really activates my body. I will always move. I will always dance. I will always sing. Like, I don't know what it is about music, but like, it's in me. It's me. Okay. It's always been me. Right. So when I hear music, it just kind of flows through me. Right. So now I'm getting like, somebody who does, maybe you're a rapper, maybe you're an artist in some way, and you can make your own beats. Why go buy them from somebody else? Because people put these beats up on for sale, and artists buy them. Rap artists and hip hop artists, stuff like that, buy them from these beat masters, beat controllers, or beat creators, or whatever the fuck you call them. I don't even know. Okay. So I'm getting like, maybe you might go on a new journey. I mean, the one guy that I follow, he makes his own little like beat pads that you can buy, right? And you can learn. And it's just like, sometimes, I mean, what else was there? It's like, being a server and opening up your restaurant, something like that, like just taking it to another level, right? Because you might just be getting it from an outside source and paying for it all the time. And like, that's kind of what I figured out with like a lot of takeout and like a lot of foreign food takeout. Like, my favorite usually is Mexican. And I learned majority how to make it myself, because I noticed that I'm going out and I'm paying somebody else to make this food that I can make. I'm more than capable of doing it myself. And then I realized what I make sometimes is better than what I go out and buy. So I don't know. It's something like that, and it's going to grow slowly, because it might be one of those things that you don't have to make it happen really quick. You can do it slow. You can just work on it every day. Like, I work on my tattoos a couple hours a day, sometimes only a half an hour. Sometimes I only do like 1 or 2 tattoos. I'll put it away. Like, like, it just depends what you want to do. Because then other days you'll work on it all day, right? Like, now this channel, right, it's a little bit different going live. I'm doing, I do the channel readings, and sometimes I find that we get more attention and there's more activation going live because people are here, they're in the live, and they're getting messages right away. They're not having to wait for me to pre-record it and then put it up and see if there's something that they like, right? So it's like there always is some kind of different way of being able to do something. So maybe this is like the world kind of saying, if you want to open up something, right, because you do it now, but you want to do it in a different way, get branching. I just heard get sowing those seeds. Like, absolutely start doing something. I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter what it is. Like, it can just be so, it could be just such a creative incentive, right? Because when you do find whatever this amazing little hobby / job could be, it could start off as a hobby and then become something that you master. Right. And like, I can see people that, tattoo artists that they use the other, what do you call that? Dremels. Right. And they sculpt other things, because a Dremel and a tattoo gun would be a lot alike. Right. So it's like, wherever you are at some point, like, spirit is like, it's like on the tip of my tongue. Like, if I knew what you did for a living, it would probably help me a little bit more as to what this is, but I don't know. It's always so funny. I sit here and talk, and this is a huge like window in front of me, but I have it all blocked off because it's a very old window and it's not very sealed. Okay. So I just have this like little spot in the window that's open, so people can hear my voice, but they have no idea where it's coming from. This one time, this guy was trying to steal a bike, in the meth head apartment girl's backyard here. She had this bike that was chained up, but her and her boyfriend were at the store, and I knew that they left because I saw them leave. And so I see this guy trying to get this bike, and I yell out the window. I'm like, "Hey, is that your fucking bike?" And he's like looking around, and he's like, "Yeah, actually it is." And I go, "Well, I don't think Rory says it's your bike." And then he dropped the lock and he walked away. And I was like, that's what I thought. Pussy. But I mean, I'm the pussy from yelling at a little spot in the window, but oh, see, someone's looking. They think they can hear me, but then they can't see me. I'm such a creep. Hey, Shazzy from Australia. I'm pretty sure, Amy, you've been here before. I think I've seen your name on the live before. All right, everybody, send your telepathic questions here. Oh, you're a girl. You know, I have dyslexia, which is just dyslexia, but I say dyslexia because I think it's funnier. And when I read your name, I read Shaggy. So right away I was like, oh, some guy, you know, just always like wants to just say hi and like make his cameo and then leave. But then you said hi, babe, and then I looked at your name and I went, oh, it says Shazzy and it's a woman. That's so much better. I just sometimes the males are just too much male energy. Oof. Okay, girl. So anybody who's new to the channel, the way that we do the lives, it's all telepathic. Okay? So if there's something that you want spirit to answer for you, then you send it to me telepathically. And if you're meant to get the message, you will. Okay? Because unfortunately, Shazzy, I mean, we could do that if you wanted a personal reading. But because it's a collective message, and for suing purposes, okay, I can't just give a personal reading online in front of everybody, okay? Plus, I don't know if you just heard that car honk. Plus, people will hold me to it and be like, oh, that's what's going to happen next week. And then if it doesn't happen, I don't like doing that shit. Okay, so basically how we work, there has to be something bigger than what's headed my way next week. You know, it has to be a little bit bigger than that because Spirit's like, what's headed next week? You got bills to pay. Okay, your alarm might be going off in the middle of the night. People across the street might be having a party. That's just a little too broad, okay? So what we do is we like to talk about things that are a little bit more that you're stuck on. The Spirit is not lazy with me. We talk about things that matter, okay? So if you've got something that's really in there, you just send it to me. I'm very receiving, okay? I used to say it at the end of the videos for a little while. If you watch any of my channel messages, I will say on the end sometimes, send them. You know, like if you're looking at me and you're watching the video, you really want a message, you know, meditate and send it to me. And there's so many tarot readers that just, you know, they just want to appease you. Okay, they just want to tell you what you want to hear. Spirit doesn't really work that way with me. It's not about what you want to hear. It's usually the thing you have to hear because you're not listening in some other spectrum in your life. Okay, now, sometimes the live gets super busy. It might say there's one person in the live, okay? And then I get off and there's over 300 people that watch the live. So for some reason, YouTube never tells me the truth about what's in how many people are in the live. Okay, so a lot of energy gets brought around. That's why I'm like, man, I wish it was that easy as what's coming. And like sometimes personal readings are as easy as like what's coming next week. But see, you're waiting on justice. There you go. See, the cards just went, right? You got to ask the right question. And now I got goosebumps actually when you said that. So this could be for you. Okay, so we have this message that the universe is trying to let you know that there's this new beginning that, like, someone's hesitant about. Like, is it going to work? Is it going to start? Is it going to happen? Okay, because they can't see. It's like someone's not giving something up, right? It's like, how can you become president of the company if the president doesn't get fucking fired or something? You know, like, how are you supposed to move up if somebody doesn't die? It's something like that. It's like somebody is sick, okay? And like, I don't know if it's sick in the head. I don't know if it's sick in the heart. I don't know. They drink a lot, or they you know, they have really bad thoughts. They're very self-centered. They're very focused on just themselves. So that's why it's like, how can you know what's going to happen if this person seems so comfortable in their role and they don't want to move, right? They don't want, it's the Phoenix in reverse. They don't want to leave. Okay. So like, in order for you to get something, whether or not it's, oh, what's up, Danny? Danny, is it just Danny or Danny? I think it's Danny. Okay. I'm awful with the dyslexia and the names. Okay. So I feel like, I mean, in order for you to get a job anywhere, somebody would have to either be fired or quit or move on, right? In any position, even if it's with, oh, it's Diane. Oh, okay. Throws me off with the I on the end. Okay, Diane. Okay, good to know. All right. Okay. So it feels like, it's like, yeah, it's like, how are you? Okay, that's weird. I don't like that. How are you supposed to? There's the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. This is what I'm talking about. Like, another stack. I'm not taking that. That is ridiculous. Oh, the Justice card in reverse. I'm not taking the rest of the cards because there's like fucking 30 cards there. But we have the Hermit, Ace of Pentacles in reverse, Justice in reverse. And this is the person who's hiding. Like, somebody is hiding, you know, like they don't want to get out of the way. And it's a lot of misjustice. It's like, man, I swear, some of those fucking, and I just take the acronym as is, like, some of those CEOs are so fucking old, they're not even showing up to meetings anymore. They're sending their fucking proxy out, right? It's such a waste of space. Like, the coffin is made, you know, the grave is dug. It's like, just die, just go, just get on with it, honestly. And they're like, nope. Gonna stay alive. You can't have this seed as long as I'm alive. And it's like, that's maybe what it is. You can't have this as long as they're alive, as long as they're where they are. That's fucked. Okay, that's fucked. Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands. Both of these are upright, and the Star. So change is coming. Action. Time is now. Where will you be when the big event happens with the Star? Which means, honestly, it doesn't matter how hard they try to hold on to something. If they're not meant to have it anymore, it's going to get taken. Okay. And I was thinking about this couple that lives in this town that everybody just idolized. Everybody wanted to be that couple. And now that couple, okay, for one, all the husband ever did was cheat on his wife. Okay, that couple now is the laughing stock of this town. The one guy who was cheating, the wife of him ended up banging the fucking chick that he was banging's fucking husband. Like, honestly, people they get on these pedestals, okay, and they think they got it all. They think, and you know, people, oh man, I wish I was these people. Aren't those people so great? Oh, they're the best people to hang around with. Yet, daddy is going out and banging the girl next door. Okay, mommy is preparing for her boob job so she can go entice somebody else to go and suck them. Their son and daughter are fucking each other in the closet. Okay, like, wow, but you really want to be that person or idolize their life? Like, but, and that's just the thing, is like they stayed a couple, okay, and they stayed together, and it kept other people from being with those children. You know, it kept other people from being with them who really needed to be with them. Instead, they created pure evil together, and everybody just, oh, drooling at them, just loving them, just can't get enough of them. All they do is fuck with each other. Okay, like honestly, sometimes people are so ass backwards, okay, and they think they can hold on to whatever they want, but guess what? I mean, time, and it's so funny, these people were all set in stone when I moved to this town, all set in stone, all having affairs, all fucking one another. Within a year, everybody started to dissipate. Everybody. Fucking, there goes that marriage. Poof. There goes the house next door. Poof. There goes that wedding. Poof. There goes that marriage. Poof. Everybody disintegrated. And they say that I'm weak. I'm the most powerful fucking person in this town. And I know it because I watched them disintegrate in front of my eyes. Shit that they had put together for 20 fucking years in this little nasty narcissistic town of inbreeding. It's fucked. Okay, and these motherfuckers hold on to positions and they fuck people because of it. And that's the thing, is you think you can stay on some fucking level. I can guarantee you somebody like me is gonna push you off. It just takes a little bit of time, right? It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of effort. I'm a witch. I can make things happen. Oh, everybody thinks their shit don't stink. Everybody's like, oh, I'm allowed to do it. I'm allowed to do it. I'm allowed. It was what keeps me sane. Like this one guy used to say he had to cheat on his wife. He was so sick in the head, he had to do it. And then there she was taking him back again. And everyone was like, oh yeah, they're back together. You know him. He's just not healthy and blah, blah, blah. They were the laughing stock of the town. I was like, their fucking wedding is a mockery. That marriage is a mockery. That is not something that I idolize. That is not something that I would love to be a part of. And then they go and have another kid during the whole fucking shit show of it. Like, oh yeah, you really showed the community that you can have kids at a very inappropriate time in your life. Like, I fucking hate that couple. Oh, I hate them. I resent them so much that anybody who even knows them or is affiliated with them, I refuse to speak to. I was actually talking to somebody recently, and I did not know that he was still affiliated with these people, and I stopped talking to him instantly. I was like, you lost all my respect. You think that I want people in my life that hang around with people like that? Absolutely not. I don't want their fucking karma leaking anywhere near my fucking life. Damn right. You are a psychic spiritual medium? Dude, no wonder you're asking for advice. We can never get our own advice, can we? It's like a fucking curse. It's like, oh yeah, go watch the next tarot reader because you're not going to get the right tarot reading yourself, even though that's what you do for a living. It's fucking crazy. Look at this. Man, this card never comes out. Temperance has been making her way through the readings. Okay, she showed up in this one reading 3 times yesterday during the live. 3 times she showed up. She's in reverse right now. That's not good. And actually, you know what I just read? It says your life is in the balance. I read your lies are in the balance. So somebody's lies are about to, woo, and that's so shall it be. So this person was supposed to give up a position a while ago. Okay, but they didn't. They decided they're going to hang on to it because nobody can tell them what to do. No. They're their own person. They're allowed to break the law. If anybody can break the law, they can. Blah, blah, blah. So they stayed in a position. They didn't want to fucking leave. So therefore, they said a lot of lies in order to stay there. Okay, they would have started talking shit, which means if people were coming up to, be their replacement, suddenly, that person is this person. Oh, now, this person is not who they think they are. No, they're an asshole. Now that person gets to stay in that position. Like this person, they used, and that's what a lot of these people will do as they're, fucking everybody's ex-husband, everybody's husbands and fucking their wives and shit. They used their emotional side to basically brainwash all their friends. You know, like suddenly because they were messing around with somebody and their wife was at home with their kids, now suddenly, well, he's sick. I'm sick. You know, feel sorry for me. Like I'm the one who had kids young and I'm the one that got stuck in this marriage and I'm the one, you know? And then it's like, well, then, you know, he starts throwing his wife under the bus. Well, she doesn't treat me good, blah, blah, blah. And like she does this and like my kids are always up my ass and blah, blah. You know, so now all of a sudden it's like, ooh, feel sorry for me moment, right? Always feel sorry for me. Always feel sorry for what's going on with me, even though I'm the one creating all of this misery just to keep my position. Okay. So universe, however, okay, does not play like that. Okay. Shit starts to get dismantled. It starts to get taken down. Whether these little fucking idiots think that it will or not, it really doesn't matter what they think, because in their little minds, the world that they live in, they're entitled and they're allowed to do whatever they want. So spiritual laws don't matter to them. Yeah, right. If only. Okay. There's the eyeball. You know what's so weird? Okay. Remember I was saying I was tattooing today? Look what I tattooed. A fucking eyeball. I did that bat right there too. And that little crow sitting there. And this lily right here. And then that's Mercury, and then with a spider web over it. But anyways, I tattooed a fucking eyeball just for the right reading and just to show you people this is how spirit works, okay? Suddenly, it all makes sense. Because what just showed up? The goddamn eyeball. Which means it's over. It's over. You know when they say it's not over till the fat lady sings? Consider the opera playing right now, because you know all those bitches are so fat, but they have the most beautiful voices. They are singing. Okay? 8 of Pentacles. Oh, you know why? Because you still worked your ass off. That's the thing. This person kept this position talking shit. Okay, so say this, right? Always. They're always watching. Okay, so say this. It's like, okay, so this person was supposed to get out of this position, whatever this position is. It might, Chris, what's up, homie? Long time no see. Chris is my favorite. I've known her forever. She's my #1 fan. She's been around for like 10 years. Okay, so The Apprentice. So say this person stayed in this role, okay, and okay, so say, I mean, I'm just going to say it because I was just talking about tattoos. Okay. Say you were a tattoo artist. Okay. But you're losing the style. You're not keeping up with the times. Okay. Because you're temperance and you're lying. You might be saying you're trying all these things, but you're not. Okay. You're still doing everything the same way when you're supposed to be evolving. Okay. You stayed with the current times. You used the new ink. You tried the new guns. You decided to pick up the new kind of style tattoos that everybody wants, okay? You did all these things while they just lied about it. And they just said they didn't, okay? Oh, sorry. They just said that they did over and over and over again. I did it. Oh, yeah, don't worry. I looked up on everything. Oh, yeah, don't worry. I read up on that. Oh, yeah, don't worry. And they fucking, you know, it's like that person, it's like almost see like the movie Seven, you know, that movie Seven where Brad Pitt, he's never seen Canterbury Tales, I think it's called. And so he gets the Cliff Notes, right, to figure out the story on what happened. And it's like, oh my God. I mean, of course, you're going to get the Cole's notes, okay, on the main events that happened. And maybe that's what this person did. Maybe they got the Cole's notes on something, you know, like the easy notes that like just filler-inners, but they didn't actually read anything, which if they'd have taken a fucking hour out of their life to read whatever they had to every now and then, they could have stayed up with current times, but they didn't want to, right? It's a great movie, isn't it? I love that movie. I've been thinking about watching it for a while, like for a couple weeks now, because I mean, I have to take time off of it because it's a big movie, man. Like it's a lot of energy. Like, okay, so that's what I'm kind of getting, and like with this 8 of Wands, I'm going like no matter what. I mean, because you're gonna do what you want to do. Like you're always, if you're being brought and you're being told to do something, you're gonna do it. This person lying, this person using their emotions, right? Because that's another thing. Somebody who's got a position out there for you, every time she was asked or he was asked, did you do this? Did you prepare? Did you do the presentation? Did you whatever? Might have ended with a blowjob in the back of the office. Okay, sex could have been used. Something could have been used, right, to keep them where they are. But I mean, eventually, that's the thing is like, there was back in the day, there was this billiards hall that we used to go to called Le Scratch in Oshawa. It was the best. Okay, that's where my security boyfriend worked. Okay, for majority of our relationship. Anyways. Why did I just bring up Le Scratch? Oh no, that went so fast. That memory went so fast. It's already gone. Oh yeah, okay, so his boss's name was Anton. You can imagine what race he was. I'm not even gonna go there. Anyways. So he had this thing where if you wanted to work for him, because I mean, these bitches at this place made a lot of money. Okay. And if you wanted to be on the beer tubs and shit like that, you made even more money, but there was a price to pay. Okay. So some of these chicks were on Anton's stick for usually, I don't really know how it worked with him, but I would imagine each shift he got a little piece of something, okay, from whoever it was or whoever was doing it for him that time, who really didn't deserve the job, but got it anyways, right? So I remember this one chick, Lacey, she was doing Anton for a while, and then suddenly Mike's like, how many, like, this was such a weird, he goes, how many times a month do you get your, time of the month? Guys, when they try to talk about women's syndromes. And I was like, I don't know, like once a month, like, sometimes if it rolls at the beginning of the month, it can happen at the end of the month, but like at least 4 weeks in between, 3-4 weeks in between. And he's like, okay, Lacey has been telling Anton that it's her time of the month every day. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I know, right? He's like, that can't be, right? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like, that cannot happen. But he really believed that, you could have that every day of the month, because he wasn't, he's not English. So maybe didn't understand very well, but right. But they would keep these jobs jumping on Anton's stick. And, oh, I know, right? Like, she played that good, okay? And I'm like, man, like, what made her say that? But she must have just been so grossed out by doing it, but she really needed the job. That's the thing, is the girl was really nice. And I really couldn't believe that. I mean, I think it was, honestly, she ended up with the other bouncer, and like she was really like, girls, like that could have easily been me at some point. Like I think she was homeless at one point and she had nowhere to go, and he had a couple of houses that he rented out, and like, you don't have mommy and daddy around, you get an Anton, and like, it just really sucked. And then like I remember talking to her and I'm like, okay, you gotta like say something else, because I mean, he found out that that's not what happened. So you got to say something else now. Like, I think she quit. I think she found another job, and I'm like, oh, thank God. But again, that was just an analogy. That was just a good old analogy from Spirit. But, those girls, I mean, somebody could just be doing something and it's keeping this justice in reverse for you. That's really the end. Like, that's like the summarization of the whole reading. Wheel of Fortune underneath with the Hangman in reverse. So it kind of says the Wheel of Fate says that you become unhinged. And that message has been coming up a lot. Because I think a lot of people have been, really staying in these positions especially after COVID and stuff, like, oh man, like people were terrified after that shit happened. You know, scared to lose their jobs, scared to lose their house, scared. You know, everybody was so fucking scared. And I think maybe that could have been it. You know, maybe somebody doesn't want to, maybe somebody doesn't want to move on because they don't know that something else is out there for them. Right. But I think it's going to end up happening anyways. And like, that's the thing is like sometimes again, so there's this one chick that I swear I was not supposed to work at this place, but I mean, Spirit only puts me where I have to be. So I was working at this one place and I only got the job because this chick who had been working there for like 5 years, okay, she got a DUI on the way to work. And so she couldn't come in. And the owner was so angry at her that he fired her. And he called me. He gave me the job. I had no idea about anything that had happened because I had just moved back to town and like I had never really went there, so I didn't really know the gossip. And everybody fucking hated me because of it. They were like, "Oh, you took her job, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, I didn't do anything. Like, I never even been there before I started working here. Like, what do you mean I don't know this chick? Like, what the fuck?" Sometimes too, like, and I swear I saw her like a couple weeks later, she came in. And because, you know, what actually I was lied to because she was let go, but not permanently. She was just let go for, I think, 60 days. So she came in and it was like, she could have just got the job back and then I would have been fucked. So they fucking lied to me and they re-interviewed her and they decided they weren't going to hire her back and blah, blah, blah. And she got a job at Boston Pizza. And I was like, you know, Boston Pizza, if you're full-time, like they have benefits. Boston Pizza's great. Like they have great management, great staff. And I feel like she, you know, had to retire from, you know, this other place where it's like fucking kids, you know, kids basically worked there to working with adults. You know, like it's time, sometimes you gotta, you know, get a position because somebody else gets a DUI that day. Because they deserve to go somewhere else. Like she, you know, she might have knew that she had to leave there for a while, but just because you know you have to leave somewhere, doesn't mean you actually do. Okay, there's an apartment below me, below my room that nobody vacates. Actually, the last people that were living there both died of ODs. And like once every couple months, somebody comes and bangs on the door. As if they think these people are still alive. They OD'd like 2 years ago. People still come and bang on the door. Like sometimes in the middle of the night. Bang, bang, bang. And I'm like, yo, nobody lives there. They're dead. Stop banging on the door. They're not suddenly going to rise from the grave and come and give you something. Everybody that lives in my ghetto complex is a drug dealer. Like everybody. But they're all really nice, so they don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with them. And they all have baby pit bulls. There's like 3 baby pit bulls all of a sudden in Melrose Place here. Fucking everybody, ghetto Melrose Place, everybody's got a fucking pit bull. So there's just like puppies running around everywhere. There's poop everywhere. It's so good. All right. Where are we at? Wow, we're past an hour. 11711. I just saw on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we have clock in reverse with alert in reverse with mercy in reverse and a vampire underneath. Like, what the fucking fuck just happened? Look at that. Dana Scully and Fox Mulder together on the bottom of the deck with Witch and Deadline. They don't want the Deadline, but that's nice. Nobody cares. Okay, so the FBI has shown up. Hey, didn't somebody say that? The FBI is watching, or cops are watching? Literally 2 FBI agents just showed up. Oh, the irony sometimes. Look at that, with the Ace of Cups on the top of the deck. Okay, so there's a witch. I kind of feel like it's possible that you could have like a spiritual vampire around you. Okay. Somebody, they could be taking your energy. They could be taking your skills. They could be, I don't know, they're taking something from you. Okay. And they kind of want to be able to do it forever. Any thief would. I mean, the real thieves, I mean, they take what they can get and they fucking run away. This one, because it's in another realm, obviously they're doing it in another dimension, which is why Fox is here, because Fox Mulder, you know, he's always the one for the unexplainable cases, you know, the ones that is like science can't define, it can't explain. So Scully has to show up to make sure that what Mulder is running around trying to prove is actually correct and that science has nothing to fucking do with it. Okay, because science doesn't define everything, right? And that's where doctors will go, like, we've seen science do its miracles and we've seen life do its miracles. So both are kind of, you know, one and the same. So this vampire that's taking something from you, okay, it's something that is being done, and although it can't be defined as particularly like in this dimension, it doesn't mean that it's not happening, okay, because there's evidence that something is happening, okay, and it's something that it doesn't, nobody wants it to end. This person doesn't want it to end. They want it to just keep going on and on and on and on and on, which is why the clock is in reverse. Okay, they're not getting the message. They're obviously getting a message from somewhere. Okay, which is why we have alert in reverse, but they're not listening. Okay, there was this one time, and I was wondering if this was ever going to come up, and it just came up in my head. There was this one time where there was a girl in my community that was doing black magic against me. And what I decided to do one day was something I'll never do again, because I paid the price of what I did. But what I decided to do was bind her up from doing evil against me. Right? Because I was sick of her doing shit against me, that I thought, okay, well, I'm going to bind her up. I'm going to stop her from doing this. And then if she's bound up, she can't hurt me. Right? But what that ended up doing was it started to come out in me. I started to get bound up. I started to actually physically feel like I was being tightened and tightened and tightened, and I couldn't, like I was getting stiff. Okay. And I noticed a couple weeks into it that I was like, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with me? And then I was like, oh my God, this is the effects of witchcraft, right? I'm not, the only thing that I'm allowed to do against a fellow witch would be defend myself. That's it. I can't do anything against her. All I can do is protect myself. Okay. You can't hurt somebody else, right? Even though they want to hurt you, it's just not, you know, it's not, you're supposed to be the bigger person. You're supposed to be the better person out of it. Okay. So basically I was wondering if that was ever going to come up, and I kind of feel like it's coming up, because I feel like that's the warning. That's the alert, is the stiffness, right? Is like something is going to come over them. Something is going to get taken over that they're doing to you. And so they've been being told, you know, like physically in the unexplained, you need to stop doing this, and they're going to keep doing it, right? So the universe is bringing it up now because it's done. Like it's like the spiritual universe, okay, your spiritual team have figured out that this person is doing something. And I don't know how you got the police to show up. Well, I think I did. That's the thing. Like I could have. The thing is that I didn't have to bind her up. All I had to do was protect my energy from her. That's all I had to do. I didn't have to physically do anything to her. By binding her up, I'm hurting her, which is doing exactly what she's trying to do to me, right? But instead, all witches have to do is put up a protective barrier, put up a protection spell, right? Protect our homes, do everything that we need to do, and then plus protect our energy from whoever wants to take it. So that doesn't do anything to them. It just helps us keep what's already ours to ourselves. It's like a lock. It's like a lock. It's like locking the door and just making sure that even though when you lock your door, people can try to break in, they can't break in if I'm on duty. And I know that I lock the doors behind me. You know what I mean? So it's like somebody just, you're letting something is leaving your life through a source, okay? It's most likely money, but I don't know for sure. It's leaving your life through this open source that right now you're kind of like, maybe you could be numb to, you could defend, like, I want to spend my money on this, I want to spend, but that's kind of like the demon that they're trying to siphon from you, There's fuel. They're definitely gotten energy from you, okay? Which is why you're getting the Ace of Cups back. Yeah, they took hot energy from you. Okay, so they could have took your sexual energy from you. And they were told to stop. They were told to caution. They were told to slow down. You don't need to do this. There's other ways of doing it. There's other ways to, get back what you need. There's other ways to get energy. You don't have to do it this way. But they were like, nope, I want to do it this way. And that's a very childish way, that the universe is opening up a door for you so then you don't have to hurt anybody and you choose to hurt somebody regardless. That's why I'm like, yes, I know that I did something wrong, but it also taught me that I hurt her because it was starting to hurt me. Therefore, if it was hurting me physically, I don't know what the fuck it did to her. Even though she was hurting me, I didn't want to hurt her back like that. Okay? So, there's the truth with hate. That makes sense. And then justice with 911. So justice has been called into your life as an emergency. So they've taken something that has now massively depleted you, which is why it's coming back in feelings. Like they could have taken everybody out of your life. They could have turned you stone cold. They could have done something and then you just start fucking, hating everybody. Oh my God, all the time. All you have to do is call it back. So a lot of times I'll call my energy back when I'm in the shower. And I just, make my little protective circle. I can bring some salt in there sometimes if I want, some nice essential oils. You can light a candle and you just call your energy back. If your energy is somewhere out there in the world, it could be anywhere. It could be halfway around the world. It could be, next door. Call that shit back. Call back things. If you think that something is not right, or like, you're addicted to spending your money some way, or you're losing something in your life that's a necessity and you want to be able to control it, right? Because honestly, like going out, there's this dollar store, Dollarama, that we have in Canada. And for the most part, it has some of the wickedest shit. Okay. Like sometimes I can go in there and fucking spend hours in there sometimes. And this time last summer, I went in there and I just started throwing things in the cart. Here we go. Get this. We had just moved to this place. So we lost a lot of things when we moved because we moved across the country. So there was a lot of things that we couldn't bring home with us. So, I was buying a lot of things and I get to the till and she rings everything up and she's like, okay, $120. And I'm like, this is a dollar store. What do you mean $120? I think it was $113 exactly. And like, I'm like, can you print out the bill? And she's like, well, I can't bring out the bill until you like pay it. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I pay the bill and I look at the bill. It's like this long. And I'm like, well, yeah, everything's $4 or $5, right? That day after that, I never did it again. Never, ever. I walk into that dollar store now. I'll get my, it has like the cheap Vaseline, right, for $1. So why would I not use this tattooing? Of course I'm going to. I'm not going to go buy expensive Vaseline to tattoo fake skin, right? So it's like, I'll go in there. I went to the dollar store today. I got 4 things and I left. I will never do that again. It was like just wanting to take money from me. It was just like the dollar store was just this open vessel that was just like, here, you've got money. Just come spend $100. It's fine. Just come spend $100. I don't want to spend $100 at a dollar store. Are you kidding? Who the fuck? I'm not my aunt, okay, trying to buy shit. So, you could have been like, there could just be something that you don't have. My aunt, man, I would pay her $500 rent. All right. Sometimes $500, or my sister would pay the other $500, or it was $700 when I lived with her before. And I'd watch her. She just go straight to Walmart. And she would come back, she'd be like, I just spent $400 at Walmart, and I don't even know where anything is. And then she would always buy a rug, or always buy some type of cheap carpet or cheap mat. And as soon as she would bring it home, her dog would fucking throw up on it or shit on it. And she'd be like, that's my brand new rug, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, yeah, because you don't need another fucking rug. She was so controlled by Walmart. She'd just walk in there and spend hundreds, and she wanted my rent so she could go to Walmart and spend hundreds of dollars. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you gotta buy food, bitch. You got your fucking hydro to pay. Like, you don't work. Look at that. Thief in reverse. Like, this person really does not want you to find out how much they've been stealing from you. And I got this premonition, which I don't know if it's true. So take the analogy, because now this is coming to my head. So I had this analogy that I don't know if it was a message that came to me, but all of a sudden somebody said to me, your grandfather died last summer. And I said, okay. And apparently he left money for me, and my father is keeping it from me, and he's spending it himself. And he wants to go on vacation, and he wants to go and get, he wants to be retired, and he wants his wife to be happy. So he's just taking my money from my dead grandfather and keeping it from me. Deadline. And like, I don't know if that's true, because my father doesn't speak to me. And last time when his mother died, he didn't tell me. His wife ended up telling me 3 months later, because she was pissed off at me. She wrote it out of spite. Well, your grandmother died, and I'm having to deal with your father. And I was like, well, thanks for finally telling me that my grandmother died 3 fucking months later, you monster. See, same story. Spirit speaks through me, okay? I don't want to tell any of these people these awful stories. I don't want to talk about my family. My family is fucking awful. They might as well be a bunch of fucking Nazis walking around, because they're that fucking brutal. They will steal anything from me if they can. I mean, my stepmother's been stealing my voice since I was 6 years old. She's been constantly telling everybody that I'm a liar, so she steals my voice. She steals my story. She steals my truth. So maybe that's what they've been doing. They've been stealing your truth. Yeah, I mean, trust me, people, the FBI has been called in for a lot less than a bunch of fucking liars. And that's what it is, the truth and nothing but the truth. I keep looking at this sword going like, this sword is going to cut you if you think that you can go against it and lie when other people know the truth. Like, you think you're the only one here? Like, you think you can hide lies? Like, you can't, because you're talking about them in your head. You're talking about your lies in your head. Spirit knows about it then, because spirit is in your head. They always are. They're with you from the day you're born to the day you die. Spirit is always with you. It's just whether or not people give a shit about listening to it. Right? Spirit has done the most amazing things for me, and even though I am not in a good position, and even though sometimes I think I don't know why life does what it has to do to me, but I remember that I have spirit there, and I'm like, you all are fucked. You're fucked. Like, you think you can do whatever the fuck it is that you want because you're winning. You think you're winning in 3D. Guess what? I'm winning in 5D, and that's all that matters, because 3D isn't where we end up, is it? No, because we die, right? People are so dumb. They're so dumb. Oh, now I'm getting whole credit in the straight world. Look a dealer in the eye. I look at dealers in the eye all day long. Actually, there's a pretty good looking dealer. He's one of the ones that has the puppy. He's a pretty good looking guy. Maybe my long lost love is in the cockroach apartment right beside me. You never know. You never know. Because the way that I see it, it doesn't matter where you live. It's about who you are inside. People know that. The way they live and the harsh conditions they go through, that's all for fucking little motherfucking haters around them to judge them. And if you're judging somebody that's in a bad position, you got a lot to learn from the universe. You better leave that judgment up to other people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, jelly bean? My mom used to always say that. Look at that. Accusations coming right out, right away, off the gun. Accusations. Accusations get bitches killed, all right? You want to accuse something of somebody, you better hope to fucking God that you got the truth. You better hope. This one bitch, she called the cops. She was trying to say that I was harassing her and all this shit. The cop was like, that's not harassment. You are allowed to tell this woman exactly how you feel. There is nothing wrong with free speech. I'm just calling you to say, she called to say that you're harassing her, which technically if she keeps calling, I guess she's harassing you. Goodbye, ma'am, and hung up the phone. Okay, you better make sure you know the law before you start running your greasy little lying fucking mouth, making accusations about people that you don't fucking know what you're talking about. How about that? Some guy thought he could just fucking wipe his dick all over me and I wasn't going to say something and rip him apart. Guess what? I don't really like to keep my mouth shut. You know why? Because assumptions also get you killed. Assuming you can just make accusations about people on their social media and they're not going to come back and clap back. Woo-wee, baby. I tell ya, somebody is fucking doing something behind your back and spirit is pissed. See, this is why I love going live. Because sometimes I can't get these messages all on my own because you guys have to send your telepathic questions to me so I can answer them. I'm going to have to start writing it again or saying it at the end of the reading to send your question so I know what to answer because like right now I'm kind of at a standstill because I don't think anyone's sending me their questions telepathically. So I can't answer from spirit if I don't get the question, right? This is why I like going live because this is why. This is why. This is shit that spirit doesn't want to talk about with me all alone. You know, like it wants to get it out while people are listening because the lives don't really get watched too much after I channel them, you know, because people know that the lives are about the people in the live, right? And that their energy is not really here. Your energy is here. Okay. So your energy is going to be what comes out. I mean, I love going live. You have no idea. Okay. So there's the sun with marijuana leaf in reverse, okay, with the dumpster, the trash can. This isn't good. This isn't good. Because now I'm kind of getting that there's a lot of peace with you, okay, and they are just not seeing that correctly, okay, and something's going to go in the garbage. Because the sun is here, so something's going to get illuminated. Okay, so don't be surprised if this resonates with you, okay, in the next like couple days or like, because usually this kind of stuff happens like pretty quick. Somebody, you get a message saying, listen, someone's talking shit about you on their social media. And honestly, my sister, she hooked up with this guy back in the day who totally lied about like being married and stuff. And she was under the assumption because of what he told her he was broken up with this woman and he wasn't with her anymore. So she was like, okay, well, I don't know any other, you know, story. So I'm going to have to say what you know, take what you say as, you know, the truth. And she woke up in the morning. This is back in the day when she had social media, she had Facebook, and his wife was all over her Facebook, all over it. Fucking wrote him on a bunch of pictures. You filthy fucking bitch. This is what you do when you sleep with fucking people's husbands. And she was like, she was mortified. She was fucking mortified. Oh my God. And then somebody's, okay, I don't know if her and this, because she ended up getting married. But okay, so she, I think, broke up with her boyfriend, like her long-term boyfriend at the time. She had, you know, she slept with this guy or whatever. And the guy that she broken up with, that she ended up getting back together with, one of his friends wrote back this bitch on everything she said. Like, don't you dare write this about Courtney. This has nothing to do with Courtney. This is about you. This is about your family. Stay the fuck away from mine. And he like, she woke up and she was like, okay, so not only did this woman write all of this stuff about me, but then there's this guy who she barely even knew totally standing up for her. Right? And putting everything that they said right into the trash immediately. Like, don't you come fucking putting your garbage all over here, accusing people of doing shit when she assumed that this guy was telling the truth. Why wouldn't she? She doesn't personally know his wife and all his fucking bratty little kids. Okay? So like, but fucking women are fucking crazy, like they're trying to catch, their husband's cheating, and these women don't know about it. Okay, so there was this one time my buddy was texting me. Actually, my sister and I were thinking about this because we were like, okay, I'm pretty sure that my friend's wife at the time was in his phone because he was messaging me across the fucking country, messaging me, and all of a sudden he calls me and he's like, okay, so I'm walking down the street right now because Michelle, his wife at the time, just headbutted me in the face while I was talking to you on the phone. And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, she came downstairs as I was texting you and headbutted me in the face and walked away. And like, she was pretty big. And I was like, oh my God, she knew you were talking to me. And like, I didn't fucking know. Like, you told me you were broken up with her. Why the fuck does she care? But she obviously had like spyware in his phone or something. And she was reading all the text messages as he was texting me and fucking walked downstairs into his part of the house and fucking kicked his ass. So honestly, I mean, and me and him were just friends. We were not, I'm not that kind of person that's like, hey, what are you wearing? Yeah, take it off and jerk it for me. No, that's not Whitney. Okay. I think we were talking about, we were most likely talking about Fargo or some type of movie or something, because that's what we would do. We never, really talked about like, things that, guys, you don't really need to talk about the heart, then don't do it. We got other things to talk about. So we're like talking about something else. We were talking about something so random. It wasn't anything to do with why you would come down and fucking kick the shit out of him. Like, what the fuck? Like, and plus I'm in Ontario. Motherfucker was in Alberta. Like, where do you think I am right now? Like, what do you think I'm doing? Like, what the fuck? Chill out, bitch. But, they want to make their assumptions and then, shoot their accusations out there. And then, bitches are crazy. And I say bitches because men can be bitches too, okay? Bitches are crazy, and they're good on Facebook, and they start fucking looking up other people that are looking at you and people that are trying to talk to you and shit. Somebody is not keeping peace, okay? Someone's not keeping the peace. And I feel like it doesn't even have anything to do with you at this point. Whatever this person wants to do, whatever accusations they want to send out there, whatever they want to assume that they know, it's going to get lit up. It's going to get lit up, and it's all going in the garbage, right? It's like, even when people come on here and they write their hate mail and they send their shit, all I have to do is hit block and they go away forever, right? So it's like this, maybe that's why the garbage can is here, because I think it's so easy to get rid of them. Right? I think it's so easy. Like, I mean, all she had to do was delete the comments that this woman put up and block the woman on Facebook. That's all she had to do. And I was like, this is like fucking kindergarten. Like, are you kidding? I haven't had something like this happen since high school. Fucking my sister was like 35. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is far from high school, but like, bitches, male or female, they're gonna squawk when you fucking all of a sudden just decide to, look some other way. And they don't like that, right? There's Kiss the Girls in reverse with eyeglasses. I think somebody kind of has to realize that, like, somebody does not like them out there. Okay, this could be somebody that possibly wanted to date you. I mean, or somebody who is extremely jealous of you. This has something to do with sex, I'm pretty sure. Okay. I was actually, and what I'm getting in my third eye is this video on, I think, YouTube, and this girl is standing outside of a bathroom, and then she's like, she's hyping herself up, and then she kicks the door in, and this guy is getting a blowjob from this naked chick, and she pounds the shit out of that guy, and the girl goes running. So clearly that was her fucking boyfriend. Now I'm getting a Slipknot song in my head. Is that Sloth Filth? I think it is. Sloth Filth. Okay, like, I don't need you to do it for me. I don't need you to understand. I just want to feel like any other man. I won't tell you my history. I won't tell you the aftermath. So it's like, man, dead end. Look at this. Honestly, whatever this person thinks that they can say about you, or whatever it is that they assumed and like they're going to accuse you of, like I said, you get them shut down quick. I almost feel like, why even bother doing it? But somebody can't see straight. Somebody can't see what they're doing, right? They're bound to get themselves in trouble, okay? And I feel like by getting them in trouble this way, they're not going to get in big trouble, because this could end up something like that, where some bitch goes crazy and fucking comes to your work and attacks you because, they saw some text message that you sent their boyfriend when, like there was this one guy that my sister, she was at the laundromat, and this guy came up to her because she has a lot of tattoos, and he's like, oh, do you have a tattoo artist out here? And she's like, no, actually I don't. He's like, oh, I tattoo. I live out in blah, blah, blah. Here's my card. He's like, but I just want to let you know I do have a girlfriend, so don't bring your crazy shit to my house. And she was like, okay, I'm not going to call you, but thanks. Like, why are you automatically saying that you have a girlfriend and not to bring your crazy shit? I thought you were a tattoo artist. But then he said he would come to our apartment. Oh, I've got one of those travel guns, and I just go to people's houses because my girlfriend, by the way, at home is crazy, so you can't bring your crazy shit there or something. And she was like, he was trying to say it like slick, like he was just the kind of tattoo guy that would just show up at your house and fuck you and tattoo you and then leave. And she was like, I'm so confused. And she's like, I don't want to go to that laundromat again. I'm like, yeah, I get it, girl. I wouldn't want to go to that laundromat again either. And I think she did check his social media out, and he was a total fucking creep. He's a total fucking creep. He's just looking for fucking chicks to tattoo and come over to the house. Like, what the fuck? Thanks, but I'll find somebody else. Hey, I'll just tattoo myself. Thanks. Okay, there it is. There's the no landing. Okay? You can't land a fucking plane upside down. You might think you're Denzel Washington in flight, but son, you ain't going to be able to do it, okay? There's the 3 billboards card. Oh my God, that's the advertising. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie 3 Billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, outside of Ebbing, Missouri, but it's about a woman who her daughter gets killed, and a year later they still don't know who it is. So she rents 3 billboards outside of her house, outside of town, and she writes all these things on them about why her daughter's killer hasn't been caught, right? And it actually goes somewhere, like the news gets it right away, and everybody's on it right away. Even though they don't find who killed the poor girl, it still gets broadcasted. This is kind of like with the plane in reverse. I kind of feel like it could be the same thing, where they try to advertise something about you. They try to say something about you, but it doesn't go anywhere. Oh, you've seen it? I know, it's a good one, eh? It's like one of my, I don't know if I can put it in my top 5 desert, island movies, but it's definitely in my top 10. I fucking love it. Might be in my top 5. I don't know, because I'd have to go over my films, but I tell you. Okay, are you talking about Ebbing, Missouri, or are you talking about Flight with Denzel Washington? Because Flight with DW, also a great movie, but not as good as 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. That's for sure. I can watch that movie fucking at least once a month. It's so good. Oh my God. I think, what's that guy's name? Oh man, that one guy that gets all burnt up. I forget his name. Oh, I just love him. Oh, you are talking about 3 Billboards? I figured you were. Fucking midgets. Oh God. And like Woody is the best in it. Like, I love Woody in that movie. Oh, he's great. Oh, he's great. Such a good fucking movie. Oh, is it Sam Neill? No, that's not Sam Neill. What's the one guy's name that gets fired as a cop? Oh, I'm gonna have to watch that movie now. Oh, I can't think of it. It's on the tip of my tongue. On the tip of my tongue, on the tip of the teat of the tongue. Okay, this deck just sparked up to me for some reason. This is the character cards. Let's see. Why are you crystal balling me right now? Unlikely. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, I feel like it's, if I asked my sister right now, she'd tell me because she loves that movie. Did you hear that beep? I know I know my sister knows. Sam Rockwell. I knew it was a Sam. Oh, he's always so fucking beautiful. I love him. Oh, I love him. Love him in that movie. Okay. Okay. Unlikely. Why unlikely? Okay, let's do Godfather. This might be the last reading. Man, did you guys see that clip of that Amazon driver running that lady over? And he just drove away. What the fuck? He didn't get away with it because he was caught on camera. Okay, so we have the 10 of Cups in reverse with the 2 of Swords in reverse. Honestly, you know what I feel like? I feel like this unlikely card is like, if you're asking, like, are these people going to stay together, or is somebody going to stay together? And it's like, no. But that's the thing, is Spirit can never say for sure, because like we know, people can hold on to energies and never want to leave, right? Even though they know that they're not getting anywhere. So it's like, or you could be asking, is somebody happy in their relationship? And Spirit is saying no, that they're at actually a really bad crossroads right now. And they're kind of like butting heads. Okay. Queen of Swords in reverse, independent, honest. Somebody is, it seems like, just in a relationship because they don't want to have to be independent. They want to be codependent on somebody. So they're being codependent on this person. So no, it's not happiness. It's just like, all honestly, necessity almost. Okay. There's the Sun in reverse with the 9 of Swords in reverse. Like, this is fucking like 3 swords already in reverse. Like, talk about lying, or sorry, anxiety is upright. The Sun is in reverse, growth and recovery. Somebody, like, it also could be like, is a family going to get back together? And Spirit doesn't see that either. But again, don't quote me because I don't know really what this is about. I don't know who this is answering, but it's like somebody is very anxious. There's a lot of anxiety about this crossroads, about, are they going to make it through the crossroads? Is it going to happen? And it's like, well, no, you're not going to be able to make it through the crossroads if somebody keeps lying and not admitting that because there seems to be some type of problem here. And then 10 of Wands in reverse. And that can be sometimes people not wanting to address the problem. There's the King of Swords on the bottom. Somebody not wanting to address the problem because they know once they do address, they're going to have to leave. Right? And then there's the fucking 4 of Cups. Well, because they're bored. Departure in reverse. They don't want to leave. They just want to fucking chill. Okay, this is pretty bad. This is a 2 of Cups. And there's Judgment. Okay. And then there's the 7 of Swords. Ooh, okay. So I'm kind of getting, all right. So the analogy of this reading is about 2, 3, no, oh my God, probably 4 years ago now. I think maybe even 5 years ago. Anyways, 4 or 5 years ago, I decided that I was going to tell my mother about what her husband did to me. And I honestly, growing up, my mother and my stepfather they had such a toxic relationship that I really thought at my mom's older age that she would listen to me and take it seriously and go, okay, well, you know what? That's all I needed to hear to leave this asshole. So now, come stay with me. And we'll deal with this. But instead, she didn't. She stuck with her husband. She made a fool out of me, and she slammed the door in my face and stayed with her abusive, disgusting, pedophile, gross husband. And even though they are not happy, they have fought like cats and dogs my whole life. They have thrown shit at each other. Even my grandparents who live with them seasonally will go like, Jesus Christ, we never know that somebody could fight like that. Like, their fights are so bad. They get violent with each other. They fucking yell at each other every day. They hate each other. They hate each other. But for some reason, that hate was stronger than my mother's love for me. Okay? So I was supposed to go. She was supposed to kick him out of the house. In a perfect world, she was supposed to kick him out of the house. I was supposed to move back there with her, heal, okay, not become homeless, not lose all my money, not go down a fucking nasty road. I was supposed to recover with my mother. And instead, she went the other way. Okay? She pulled the rank. She took the partnership. And she wanted to just keep her nasty little disgusting life in New Brunswick all to herself. And I think she was really hoping that I was going to say I was a liar and that it was all just a joke and a hoax and, you know, all this shit. But I'm not a liar, and it wasn't a joke or a hoax. It's actually what happened. So I stuck with my gun. She sticks with hers, whatever. I know the truth. It doesn't matter. Okay. But I know that judgment is going to hit her for that. Because she had all the knowledge, she had all the information, she had everything she needed to tell him to leave. Because, and actually, when we went out there, my sister and I, because we would go out there and visit them every now and then. They're out in New Brunswick, and we went out there this one time, and my sister still smokes. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore, so she was outside, and my stepfather was out there, and my stepfather talks so much shit. Okay, like, he's such a fucking piece of work. And he goes to my sister. He was drinking, of course, because he's an alcoholic. And he goes, you know, I just want to die in a dirty hotel room all by myself. And she was like, he would say shit like that. He was such a fucking scuzzy asshole. And she was like, okay. And then I remember her coming in the house and going like, hey, Craig just said the fucking weirdest thing to me. And I'm like, ew, like, who wants to just fucking up? Like, my parents live in this beautiful, like, old Victorian house in New Brunswick. It's fucking huge. It's a bed and breakfast. It's beautiful. Like, I've never seen a more beautiful house, honestly, in my life. And, you know, she chose to stay there with him. And I thought, like, you know what? She's going to, at one point in time, figure out the truth. And she's going to wake up in that bed all by herself and with a husband who absolutely despises her. And she's going to die all by herself. And, I mean, awesome, great. That's what you want to do. But I really thought more highly of my mother than that. I really thought my mother was smarter than that. But my mother has always shown me a damsel in distress. That's all she is. She's just, you know, hyperventilating from one place to another. She's always worried about something or, you know, huffing and puffing about something. And I always just wondered, like, you know, as she's dying, she's got cancer of some kind or whatever. And I thought, like, you know, I was supposed to recover, and while you slowly died, and I would have taken care of her and I would have done everything. I know that, you know, people aren't perfect, and I wasn't going to hold that against her for marrying a pedophile my whole life and, you know, marrying the man that ruined my life. But whatever, you know, like, I mean, I still love her. She's my mother. But when she chose that, it was like, okay, you made your bed and now you shall sleep in it, because he even doesn't want to be there. He wants to be spending his money in hotel rooms because he's a dirty fucking prick. He's like 80 some odd years old. He's 20 years older than her. Okay. And she was born in 1960. So she's like 65 years old now, like, and he's 20 years plus. So he's 80, 83, 84 years, not quite 20 years older than her. So he's like fucking in his 80s. I don't even know if he's alive. I mean, I think he is, because I mean, I think she would have called me by now if he was dead, but maybe she wouldn't, because she's on her little fucking high horse. All right. And she's worked herself up to her daughter being somewhat of a liar. And, you know, she's done it all to herself. Because I'm not a liar. Why would I lie about something like that? Who the fuck? Like, you don't lie about something like that. You don't, especially when you're fucking 30 some, like, I mean, I think I was 33 when 33 when it came out, because I was like, I held that in for 30 years and that wasn't good enough for you. Like 30 years you got to be with my mother and that wasn't enough time for you. You couldn't have, like he couldn't have packed his bags and left. No, because he didn't do it, right? No. So he has to stay there. Everybody, if they don't want to tell the truth, they want to lie, then they're going to have to stick by that lie. And whoever's married to them is going to have to eat that shit too. You got to be careful who you marry. Right? Because you're in a contract with them. What they do and that karma that they produce in that marriage, you got your name all over that if you're in that contract with them. People just think marriage is nothing. This one chick I know, she's on her 3rd marriage already. She thinks she can just fucking do whatever she wants and fucking cheat on everybody and go fuck everybody's husbands. You also now have 4 different last names and you're like not even 40 yet. You may want to check yourself before you wreck yourself, sweetheart. Like, fucking check yourself. Get a fucking clue. So, that message kind of made me angry because, like, I hate fucking women that act like, they can't live without their husbands. Like, my fucking mother was like a 60-year-old woman. She had it nailed. She had fucking everything. She could have taken that house on herself. Fucking, I would have helped run that bed and breakfast for her. And she took the fucking pansy, easy ass road. And those people that say they want to take the easy road, it's not the easy road. I knew some guy who was married to some chick for 20 fucking years because her family had money. And it was easier for him to be with a woman who has money as opposed to a woman who doesn't, right? Because these men, they want to suckle at the teat of women, right? And that's what my stepfather does. He suckles at my mother, even though he fucking hits her every single day. He can't live without her and neither shall she. Like, you can be in the worst marriage or in the worst relationship because you're holding out for money when you don't even get to take money out of here. You don't get to say to God, yeah, but I made a lot of money. What the fuck is currency? It's nothing. It means nothing. Your bank account doesn't mean shit to your spiritual team. Your spiritual team doesn't give a fuck about your bank account. And we know that because there are so many angels out there and the spiritual warfare people that are literally on the front end, on the front lines, taking shit for fucking the little entitled bitches that just want to act like nothing's wrong. Oh, I can just do whatever I want. Oh, I can curse you and I can fuck you and I can do whatever you want and I can walk away from you. Yeah, sure you can, but like it's all going to come with consequence. Like, and spirit wants people to know you fuck around, you're going to find out what happens. I mean, you can think you can do whatever you want. If you think that by doing something you want to do and it hurts somebody else, I would rethink that. Whatever you can do, I can do whatever I want. Yeah, I remember my first beer when I was 7, when I thought I ran the world and really I didn't. Like, oh my God. Like, I mean, people want to be fucking, they want to be fed. They want to be fucking pampered. They want their diaper changed. They want all their bills paid. They want like, and it's just like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So anybody else want mommy and daddy to come and take care of them? Or are you ready to, change your pants and use how to, you learn how to use the bathroom, or you just going to keep shitting in your diaper while other people take care of it for you? Like this one guy, he didn't even want to date me because of where I live and I don't have enough money for him and I'm not perfect enough for him and I don't know enough and I live in the ghetto, so why would I have anything to do with him even though his family is ghetto trash and he only got money from his ex-wife? So cheers to the people who see all the things you don't have and use it against you. Yeah. Awesome. All the things you don't have. Well, you don't have this and that, so I'm not going to date you. Oh, you don't have this. Like, honestly, superficialism, people want to be superficial. If they cross your path and they're superficial. Oh, God. They're going to eat shit more times than fucking my dog did outside as a treat. I'm going to tell you that right now. Honestly, the people who do things for money and hurt other people, I'm like, oh man, like it took another lifetime and you still didn't get it, that we're not here for money. Like of course, spirit wants you to make money. They want you to thrive. But there are parts of your mission where money has nothing to do with it. And anybody who judges you because of what you have or what you don't have, they're the ones that are going to see justice afterwards, not you. So anybody can believe what they want to believe. I am just here speaking it real, and nobody has to listen to me, obviously. And the ones who want to listen to me, awesome. To each their own. This was a pretty fucking kick-ass reading. I've been live for over 2 hours. I can't even believe that. It doesn't feel like over 2 hours, that's for sure. So thanks for everybody for being here. Thank you, Diane. Chris, I hope you're still here. JJ, thanks everybody for being here. I'm not sure who else was in the chat, but I hope y'all have a really great night. And these were some really messed up readings. So I definitely am feeling, what the collective is going through. And like, there are honestly, when I talk about witches and warlocks and like people doing shit against you magically and telepathically and stuff, like, honestly, you don't have to think Harry Potter or like The Craft or, like somebody's going to look like they're, out being a magician. It really, like the one chick that I was talking about, if you've been here since the beginning, when I was talking about the chick who had my sweater in the dream, like the things that she did with witchcraft. Hey, Chris. Oh, yeah. So you're still there, right? The things that she did with witchcraft, like you wouldn't necessarily know she was a witch. Like you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, yeah, that looks like a chick who's going out and doing spells. Like, so it doesn't, and it's not even as cut and dry as that. Like sometimes these are like generational things that are like passed down, right? Sometimes, that generational mother or that generational wisdom will get put on babies when they come in, and and you don't even know what's following you around this whole time. Like now I'm getting practical magic, when it was that generational curse that kills all the husbands, like that they can't control that, right? So it's like sometimes you get face to face with these people that have done things to you in like other lifetimes and other things, and they're still managing to do something to you, and they don't look like anything fancy. They don't look like a monster. They just look like a regular person, but it doesn't mean that they don't do some hardcore shit when they get home. Like people have like weird wardrobes at home, okay? They turn into, it's like dinner and tournament all of a sudden when somebody gets home sometimes. Like it's crazy, okay? So like, honestly, spirit is really like believe in more than what you see. Believe in what you feel, okay? A lot more than what you see, right? That's kind of like, I almost feel that's kind of a good way to start with, your mediumship and stuff, is like, go by how you feel about things. Because if you're really grounded and your opinion about things, how you feel about things, really, like, it will really let you know if that's a good place for you or not, or if that's a good person for you or not, like, because people fight so many things that their body is trying to tell them, right? Because they don't want to believe that something else could be there. But like, once you do, like, your whole world can just like open up. It's really crazy. Like spirit can really like take you over and just completely change your life. And you're like, I didn't know that could happen. Yeah, well, all you have to do is believe. And the power of belief, is a lot more powerful than the power of hate. Because hate is such a negative energy, and it doesn't have anything to grasp onto. It has to grasp onto other hate. And if you don't have any hate around you, then hate can't even come into your house. Like, hate can't come through my animals because my animals are not mistreated, right? Hate can't come through my phone or my TV because I don't watch it, right? So, like, how can hate come in my house if I don't have an open conduit to it, right? So you got to be really careful about how you live, and, like, go by your feelings. Go by how you feel when you look at somebody, or how you feel when you talk to somebody. Like, that's a lot of, like, spiritual energy that you can really, like, you can plan your whole life around just a feeling. If you're that strong and you know how your feelings are versus other people and you're genuine, you will tear a strip off those fake motherfuckers, like, mad quick, okay? So, anywho, I'm going to get going. I don't know why I do that. You know what that's from? This fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode way back in the day where Will has to go and help with somebody's girl guides, but they're not girl guides. They're like brownies or something, and they do this when they talk. Oh my God. And I like, sometimes I do that and I think, what is that from? I just remembered it's from Fresh Prince. That's crazy. I can remember that. I haven't watched that show in like, oh my God, how long? Since I was in high school. Like that's 20 years at least. What the fuck? How do things come back like that? Honestly. Anyways. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a wonderful night. What day is it today? I think it's Wednesday, right? Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Have a good hump day. Thanks for being here, everybody. I think I just a little smudged up the camera. Whatever. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Excuse me. Make sure you send in your telepathic questions. I am in receiving mode. Send them in so I can answer them. All right. Peace out. Thanks for being here. And I will all see you tomorrow. All right. Peace out.